Let me take you on a journey, a long, winding road of serendipity and chance that unfolded one scorching summer, when the sun seemed to bless every moment with its radiant smile, and the days stretched out like endless possibilities. Picture a time when the world, bathed in the golden light of vacation, whispered promises of adventure, of laughter echoing in ancient alleyways, and of hearts opening up to the magic of unexpected encounters. This is a story of summer vacations and a love that blossomed between two tourists from entirely different corners of the world. A love so beautiful and tender that it transformed ordinary moments into timeless memories. I remember the day it all began as clearly as if it were yesterday. I had spent the early hours of that July morning marveling at the surreal beauty of a coastal town on the Mediterranean. With the azure sea-kissed golden sands and the gentle breeze carried the scent of salt and blooming jasmine. The town was alive with the spirit of summer, a blend of locals going about their daily routines and visitors whose laughter filled the narrow streets. Among these travelers was a young woman named Isabella, whose eyes sparkled with curiosity and whose smile could light up even the darkest of corners. Born in Italy, she carried with her the passionate spirit of her homeland, a spirit reflected in every graceful gesture and in the warm cadence of her laughter. Isabella had come to this enchanting town in search of something she couldn't quite name. A taste of freedom, a break from the routine, a glimpse into the unknown. Every morning, as the soft light of dawn crept over terracotta rooftops, she would wander through cobblestone streets, savoring the moment, her mind alive with dreams and desires. She had a way of immersing herself in the local culture. Whether she was sipping a rich espresso at a sunlit cafe or getting lost in the maze of a bustling market, she embraced every experience with a passionate heart. It was during one of these wandering explorations that destiny decided to weave its intricate design. On the same sun-drenched day, halfway across the continent in a distant land of vibrant colors and ancient traditions, there was a young man named Alejandro. Hailing from Spain, Alejandro was a wanderer at heart, a free spirit whose soul was nourished by the thrill of discovering new places and meeting people who shared his love for life. With a contagious enthusiasm and an adventurous glimmer in his eyes, he had set off on a journey to explore the hidden gems of Europe. His path had led him to that same Mediterranean town, a destination known for its charm and its ability to ignite the imagination of every traveler who set foot upon its storied soil. Alejandro was no stranger to the art of living. Every street corner, every sunlit square, whispered to him the possibility of new beginnings. He carried a small, worn leather journal where he scribbled down his thoughts, sketches, and the impressions of the places he visited. His days were filled with spontaneous decisions. Sometimes he would take a detour to watch a local festival. Other times he would linger over a meal in a family-run trattoria. And on that fateful day, as he strolled along the vibrant promenade lined with bougainvillea and the soft hum of a distant guitar, fate led him to a moment that would forever change the course of the summer. Their first meeting was as simple as it was profound. Isabella, lost in her reverie, while admiring a centuries-old fountain in the town square, felt the subtle brush of destiny in the form of Alejandro's gentle greeting. He had approached her with a warmth that was as inviting as the Mediterranean sun, and before long, their conversation flowed like a well-loved melody. They exchanged smiles and stories, speaking of art and history, of family, and the unyielding desire to explore life's endless wonders. In that instant, two souls, one carrying the passion of Italy, the other the fervor of Spain, found themselves inexplicably drawn to one another, as if the universe had conspired to bring them together in this very moment. The days that followed were a blur of shared adventures and quiet confessions. Together, they roamed the ancient streets, their laughter mingling with the echoes of centuries past. In the shadow of crumbling ruins and under the gaze of weathered statues, Isabella and Alejandro discovered the beauty of shared moments, the silent understanding that passed between them. the spark of recognition that they had both been searching for something elusive and extraordinary. There was an undeniable chemistry in their every interaction, a magnetic pull that made each encounter feel like the climax of a secret love song played softly against the rhythm of a gentle sea breeze. As the summer sun climbed higher in the sky, their days were filled with unexpected surprises and moments of breathtaking beauty. They attended impromptu street performances where local musicians filled the air with haunting ballads, and they dined under starlit skies in open-air restaurants, where the clinking of glasses and the murmur of soft conversations created a symphony of life. In those moments, the world seemed to stand still, and the weight of everyday worries melted away, leaving behind only the pure, unadulterated joy of living. Their love was not loud or boastful. It was a quiet, gentle bloom that unfolded in secret glances and the unspoken promise of tomorrow. Yet, as with every great love story, there lingered an undercurrent of suspense, a tension that suggested that not everything in life could be captured by the bliss of the present moment. There were whispered rumors among the locals of past heartbreaks and lost loves that had left scars on the town's delicate heart, and even the vibrant streets held stories of passion and pain. Isabella, with her soulful eyes, sometimes caught herself wondering if this fleeting romance could ever withstand the inevitable challenges that time and distance imposed. But for now, in the midst of that shimmering summer, such worries seemed distant, and all that mattered was the magic they created together. One balmy evening, as the horizon blazed with the fiery hues of sunset and the sky turned into a canvas of vibrant oranges and pinks, the lovers found themselves at the edge of a secluded beach. The gentle lap of the waves on the shore created a soothing rhythm that matched the beat of their hearts. It was there, beneath the canopy of a twilight sky scattered with the first twinkling stars, that they shared secrets, dreams, and silent promises. Alejandro spoke of his wanderlust, the relentless urge to explore the world and collect moments like precious gems. Isabella, in turn, revealed her longing to break free from the confines of expectation and embrace a life of authenticity and passion. They both knew that their paths, though aligned in that radiant moment, might eventually diverge like the trailing footprints left behind on the wet sand. As the days turned into weeks, their connection deepened, enveloping them in a cocoon of intimacy and vulnerability. Yet the very elements that made their love story so enchanting also carried the seeds of inevitable separation. The realities of their lives, their homes in distant lands, and the responsibilities they could not ignore loomed like distant thunder on an otherwise clear summer day. There was an unspoken understanding between them, a bittersweet awareness that every beautiful moment was also a step closer to the parting of ways. Still, they clung to the present with all their might, savoring each sunrise and cherishing every whispered word, determined to etch these memories into their hearts before the summer faded into memory. There were moments of playful mischief, too, unexpected detours into hidden corners of the town where time seemed to slow down, allowing them to lose themselves in the enchantment of the unknown. They visited secret gardens where ancient olive trees cast long shadows on cobblestone paths, and they laughed under the dappled shade of vineyard arches, with a scent of ripe grapes and the murmur of distant conversations blended into an intoxicating aroma of life. It was during these moments of joyous spontaneity that the full intensity of their love came into view, raw, unfiltered, and as natural as the tide that pulled them toward each other on that enchanted shore. But as the sun began its slow descent toward the horizon of summer, hints of change began to stir in the air. There was a lingering uncertainty that colored every conversation, an awareness that even the most perfect of moments is transient. Isabella, whose heart had been set alight by the passion of their summer romance, found herself torn between the desire to hold on to these magical days and the inevitable realization that all summers must come to an end. Alejandro, ever the adventurer, could already sense the tug of destiny pulling him back to a life that lay beyond the borders of that sun-kissed town. In quiet moments of reflection, as he sat by the lapping waves and stared into the endless blue, he wondered if their love could endure the harsh reality of separation, if the memories they forged in the heat of summer could someday serve as a beacon of hope in the chill of winter. Yet even as these thoughts weighed heavily on their hearts, there remained an unyielding determination to live each moment with the fierce passion of those who know that love, in all its fleeting beauty, is worth every stolen second. One sultry night, when the air was thick with the promise of rain and the world seemed to hold its breath, Isabella and Alejandro found themselves once again on that secluded beach. This time, not as carefree lovers, but as two souls on the brink of a profound transformation. The sky, a swirling tapestry of dark clouds and piercing lightning, served as a dramatic backdrop to their quiet exchange. With voices barely above a whisper, they spoke of the future, of the inevitable parting that lay ahead, and of the hope that their love would someday transcend the confines of time and distance. There was a palpable tension in the air, as if the very elements themselves were mourning the impending farewell. Yet within that tension, there was also a beauty, a raw, honest beauty that defied explanation. In the flickering light of a lone lantern, they shared one final embrace, a moment that stretched into eternity as they clung to each other with a desperation born of knowing that the next sunrise might forever change the course of their lives. It was a farewell wrapped in the tender sadness of what had been and the fragile promise of what might still be. As the storm gathered strength around them, their silhouettes merged against the tumultuous sky, two figures standing together against the inevitable forces of nature and fate. And though the thunder roared and the rain fell in torrents, for a few heartbeats, there was nothing but the profound silence of love, a silence that spoke louder than any words ever could. In the days that followed, as the summer began its slow retreat and the town's vibrant energy gave way to a more subdued rhythm, Isabella and Alejandro carried with them the indelible mark of their shared passion. They returned to their separate lives, each forever changed by the encounter that had set their hearts ablaze. Isabella, back in her homeland, found that the memories of that radiant summer lingered in every corner of her being. Each gentle caress of the breeze, every echo of laughter in a crowded piazza, was a reminder of the fleeting magic she had once known. Alejandro, meanwhile, continued his wanderings, his journal now filled with the story of a love that had transcended borders and defied the mundane limitations of everyday life. Yet, even as the months slipped by and the seasons turned, there remained a quiet hope, a secret belief that the spirit of their summer romance could someday be rekindled. In the quiet solitude of their separate worlds, they often found themselves gazing at the horizon, as if searching for a sign, a whisper of that long-ago summer that had changed everything. Their love story became a cherished memory, a bittersweet reminder that even the most transient moments can leave an everlasting imprint on the soul. Over time, life continued its relentless march. Isabella pursued her passions with a renewed sense of purpose, carrying the lessons of that summer within her like a cherished talisman. Her days were now filled with a quiet determination to seek beauty in every moment, to love with an open heart despite the inherent risks. Alejandro, ever the seeker of new horizons, found that each new destination carried echoes of that fateful summer, as if the universe itself had woven their destinies together in a tapestry of light and shadow. And so, as the years passed, their paths occasionally crossed in the most unexpected of ways. A shared smile in a crowded market, a brief conversation in a distant city, the soft reminder of a time when two hearts had found solace in each other's embrace. There was always a hint of bittersweet nostalgia in those encounters, a silent acknowledgement of what had been and a quiet promise that, no matter how far apart they were, the flame of that summer romance would never be truly extinguished. Even in moments of solitude, when the world seemed cold and indifferent, both Isabella and Alejandro would recall that summer as if it were a secret garden hidden away from the ravages of time. a sanctuary where every touch, every glance, was imbued with the magic of a love that defied the ordinary. It was a love that had blossomed against all odds, a delicate yet powerful reminder that even in a world defined by impermanence, the memory of true connection can endure. There was an elegance in the way that memory unfolded, a gentle cascade of images, sounds, and emotions that left a lasting impression on their souls. I tell you this story not merely as a chronicle of a summer romance, but as a tribute to the transformative power of love. It is a story that reminds us that even fleeting encounters can illuminate the darkest corners of our hearts, that sometimes the most beautiful experiences are those that come unbidden, like a sudden summer rain after a long drought. The love between Isabella and Alejandro was not one of grand declarations or dramatic gestures. It was a quiet revolution, a subtle defiance of the mundane, a reaffirmation that the human heart is capable of extraordinary leaps of faith. In every corner of that sunlit town, in every ripple of the sparkling sea, there remained the spirit of their love, a testament to the power of chance encounters and the infinite capacity of the heart to hope, to dream, and to heal. And while the seasons may change and the vibrant hues of summer eventually give way to the muted tones of autumn and winter, the memory of that radiant love continues to live on, like a soft, eternal glow that defies the passage of time. So, as you listen to this tale, let it serve as a gentle reminder that love is not bound by geography, by time, or by circumstance. It is a force that can bridge distances, mend broken hearts, and turn even the most ordinary days into extraordinary adventures. It whispers to us in the quiet moments of reflection, in the hushed corners of a crowded street, and in the brilliant light of a summer afternoon. It reminds us that every meeting, every fleeting encounter, is a thread in the vast tapestry of life, each one contributing to a story that is rich, complex, and infinitely beautiful. In that spirit, I leave you with the legacy of Isabella and Alejandro, a legacy that lives in every heartfelt smile, every gentle touch, and every moment when the world seems to pause, just for a moment, to celebrate the unspoken magic of love. Their summer romance was a fleeting spark that illuminated the vast, sometimes shadowed, landscape of existence, reminding us that even in the briefest of moments, love has the power to transform us, to heal us, and to inspire us to believe in the beauty of the unknown. And so, dear listener, as you wander through the corridors of your own memories, may you find in your heart a quiet space reserved for those precious moments of connection, a space where, despite the inevitable flow of time and the challenges of everyday life, the light of love continues to shine, unwavering and eternal. For in the end, it is not the duration of the romance that matters, but the depth of the emotion it leaves behind, a reminder that sometimes the most beautiful love stories are those that burn bright, if only for summer, and then live on forever in the heart.